Alright, so these are what we did in chemistry class today. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you have read lesson 3.16. Now you should have already read this because I told you like 2 weeks ago to make sure you've read all of chapter 3. So you might just need to give it a refresher. If you haven't read it at all, you need to. Significant figures are going to be a big deal and you should be aware of what they are and how to figure them out. Then we did a review, and then we did a practice sheet that you're going to turn in. Okay, so let's first look at the rules for sig figs. Now the rules are in your textbook, but we'll take a look real quick. So first of all, any non-zero number is significant. Okay. Zeros that are between non-zero numbers are significant. So if you have the number 1, 1, that's 2 significant figures. If you have the number 1, 0, 1, that's 3 significant figures because the 0 between the 2 1s is significant. Okay. Left-end zeros are never significant. So for example, if you had 0.1, okay, this left end 0 is not significant. It's just a placeholder. If you had 0.01, that's only one significant number, okay, because the 2 left zeros are not significant. Right-end zeros without a decimal are not significant. So if you had 610, okay, there are only 2 significant figures. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. I had to pause for a second. Alright, so right-end zeros with a decimal are significant. So for example, if you had 600.0, okay, that is 4 significant figures because of that decimal. Okay, but remember, if you just have 600, that's only one significant figure because there's no decimal. And it goes back to precision. We can remember you always have the numbers that you measure that you know for a fact, and you can estimate one more place value. Okay, since there's no decimal here, we don't know that these zeros are actual measurements or if they were rounded to 600. Maybe it was 599 and they rounded up. Okay, so we don't know. But this decimal implies that these numbers were actually measured to the 10th place. All right. When adding and subtracting numbers, the answer should be rounded to the same number of places as the least decimals. Okay, so you're going to round to the number with the least number of places. So if you're going to add and subtract, for example, 3.555 plus 2.3, your answer is only going to round to one decimal place because that's the least number of decimal places. Okay. Now, when you're multiplying or dividing, all right, then you're going to round to the same number of sig figs as the measurement in the least number of sig figs. So let's say you're going to multiply 301 times 3.012. All right, well, 3.012 has 4 significant figures. 301 only has 3 significant figures. So that means our answer should only have 3 significant figures. Okay, so adding and subtracting, look at the number of decimal places. multiplying and dividing, look at the number of significant figures. All right. Now, with that said, clear my screen. Okay. We had two sheets that we did. One was practice, and one we did and turned in. So this was the one that was practice. So you could pause the screen or pause the video and do these off of your computer. Okay, so that's 1 through 6. So you pause now. All right, and then this is 7 through 10. Pause now if you're doing these on your own. And then 11 through 13 are here. So you could pause the video here and get these. Okay, now those are all practice. So now that you have done those, if you have not, please pause the video and do them. Okay, but assuming that you have done these, all right, 0.139 should have 3. Actually, there's an easier way for me to do this. All right, so 0.139 should have 3 significant figures. Number 3, I know I'm skipping, it was just easier to cut and paste them this way. This number has 7 significant figures. This last 0 is significant because of the decimal. These 2 zeros are significant because they're between non-zero numbers. All right, 47.8923 has 6 significant figures because they're all non-zero numbers. 0.05300 has 4. Okay. These 2 are not significant. Only these 4 are. Okay. And the last 2 zeros are significant because they have there's a decimal. Now, significant doesn't mean unimportant. Okay. If you owe your bank $100.2 and you only give them, $1 because you say, oh, well, the significant figure, they're going to disagree with you. Okay, the zeros are placeholders. When we're saying significant, we mean that they were part of a measurement. Okay, 372.02 is 5. So this number, this 3.72.02, means that someone measured something. Okay, we don't know what because there's no units, but they measured something and they got the measurement 372.0, and they knew all of that absolutely for a fact. Then they estimated 200ths more. Okay, so that's why those numbers are significant. They're part of a measurement. All right, so now for the evens, 6.5 is 2. 0.0874000 is a 6. There's 6 significant figures there. These first 2 zeros are not significant because they're on the left. This right end 0 is significant because there's a decimal. So there's 5 there. Number 8 has 8, and number 10 has 1. The 0.000, those are not significant digits because they are left end zeros. Okay, they're never significant. Only the non-zero 9 is significant. Okay. And then lastly, number 11 has 7 significant digits, 12 has 4 significant figures, and 13 has 1 significant figures. Okay, so now that was the practice. So now this sheet is for a grade. So again, you could pause this and type your answers or write your answers on paper and take a picture of it and email it to me, or bring it to me tomorrow if you're going to be back tomorrow. That's up to you, but this is collected and this was a grade. If you need to pause the video and get like 1 through 4 and 11 through 14, pause the video now. All right. And if you need to get 5 through 8 and 15 through 18, pause the video now. All right. And then the last two, 9, 10, and 19, 20, pause the video now. All right, so that's it. Again, you can type those into an email. You can write them on paper and then take a picture of it and email it to me. And then you would have it. My email, oh, I can't do that. But what I can do, my email, should you need it and not know it, okay, is hansfurlow at ciscomments.com. All right. So I will attach those sheets if you have the ability to print them to the team's assignments. And I'll see you later. Hope you feel better.